Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a quilt that is called the Spider Web Quilt. I have seen it on Pinterest. I've seen other videos of it and I decided I want to give it a try too. I really enjoyed making this one. The best part about this is you use up so many of your scraps. So come along with me and I will show you how I put it together. I start out by cutting 12.5-inch squares. Once you get that done, you're going to want to cut it across, making an X. And this is going to be what you're going to work with when you start adding your scraps. I do this a little different than the video I watched on how to do it. I just put the ruler right in the middle there, and I want to mark a point. I want to mark right where the middle is. And then I'm also going to make a little dot 1/4 of an inch on each side of that line. And then I take the ruler and I line it up on the side. And what I want to do now is I want to find the 6-inch line and make a dot. And do that on both sides. Once you get that done, you're going to want to draw a line between the 1/4 of an inch line and the 6-inch line on both sides. This is a great project for chain piecing. You could just do a bunch of them, get them all set up, take all your scraps to the sewing machine and just start running them through. And if you're enjoying this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing and hit the little bell. If you hit the little bell, it will remind you when I have a new video coming out. And I try to have one out every Friday, so hope you'll do that and consider hitting that like button too. That helps push my video to other people. I also wanted to tell you about the pen that I'm using here is a water erasable pen. It's wonderful. You put it on fabric and you spray it with water and the line goes away. If you are interested in this, I could leave a link down below. Once I get that all done, I want to start cutting strips in 1 1/4 inches. The fun thing about this whole idea is you don't have to use 1 1/4 inches. You could pick any size you want and it would work perfectly. So have fun with this. You could just do anything you want. I like to make a big pile of them and put them in a basket next to the sewing machine because I just want to randomly pick them out. I'm going to try not to have two colors the same next to each other. And then you want to grab a strip of fabric. You want to put the pretty side down against the fabric. And you're going to sew 1/4 of an inch. And when you do that, you should be covering up that middle blue line. If you notice on my thumbnail, if you look real close, you can see the blue line. I didn't cover it up on that one and I just left that in there because it really just doesn't matter. And so, just have fun. I don't use the Hera marker for every project, but there are certain projects that come along that is just perfect for, and this is one of them. I could also leave a link to this if you're interested, but it just kind of pushes that seam down. You can do it with your finger, but this just seems to hold it down just a little bit better. Once you get that done, you're going to grab your next one. Now the important thing to see here is I'm going to line those up. I want it to cover as it's going down to the point. You're going to take the white and push it underneath. You don't want to sew the white. You're going to use that white for measurement though as you get these sewn on. The next strip, you're going to pull it out and you're going to pull that white back out and look at how far you have to go. and then just keep adding your strips until you get the entire thing done. I like to use a little piece of fabric after each piece. It just kind of keeps the sewing machine ready, the thread ready. You should try it. It works so good. Another fun thing about this too, as I'm working my way down, the pieces are getting smaller, so you can use the tiniest of scraps. I always wondered if I should save the tiny little pieces of scraps, and here is the reason why you should. Those little tiny pieces come in handy. Okay, this side is all done, and I will start working on the next side, doing it exactly the same way. I will speed it up a little bit. Up at the top, if you click on this video right now and you click the thumbs up, which I would really appreciate, by the way, just throw that in there. But if you go all the way over to the settings and scroll down the settings, there's a part where a button you can push that slows this video down. I hope that helps if I am going too fast. And here is one of those little tiny points again. Once I get both sides done, I like to turn it over, make sure the white is fully covered on each side. And that looks just perfect. I want to take it over to the iron and press it really good on both sides. Then you want to take it to the cutting table and you just want to turn it over just like this and take your ruler and cut all the edges, cut all those little pieces off. And now you just want to cut those white little flaps off, flip it over. I take the ruler, I line it up with a seam there, and then I just cut that right off, and you want to do both sides. This makes the cutest block, and the really neat thing I loved about it when I put this together was it's like two different blocks. You have the white making a block, and then you have all the scraps making a completely different block. And now I'll put it up on my design wall and make sure I like how it's laid out. I don't like to have two colors the same, so I may switch a couple of them around. I'm going to put border around this block. I want to put a white, a blue, and then go back to white so it matches the back for the binding. This is where you can make the quilt as big as you want. Like you could add a big border and to kind of give you some extra length. This has been such a fun block to make. At the end of this video, I will put up two of my other videos if you'd like to click on them. And I want to thank you so much for watching.